staff reading section. If anybody was to come in here and perhaps require something on autism spectrum disorder, we have several resources for that. Also for the teachers, who owns the learning and who moved my cheese, preparing students for digital success. This side we have more our curriculum provided language section, and just around here our curriculum documents that are sent to us, literacy progressions, math standards, and our effective pedagogy. These are all provided by the Ministry of Education as our curriculum area for the staff in the resource room. So in column 6 here we have all resources that we have purchased specifically for PYP and the unit of inquiry. These are resources we have specifically purchased since being involved in the PYP program. All units of inquiries are marked with the coloured dots, as you will see here, who we are, where we are in place and time, and they're all specific to our PYP. Okay, so here in our novels section we have marked a lot of our novels, particularly those that we have brought since being part of PYP. We have marked them with our coloured coding, and you will see here the Anne Frank, we've marked it with PYP, the blue dot is where we are in place and time, and we've done that with several of our novels and continue to do so.
Hi, good morning. This is Serena Griffiths. I'm the school librarian and I'm going to show you around the library. As you can see in the atrium, we've got the displays of the students' work celebrated throughout the specialist area as well as classroom. Let me show you the library. This is our library in the main part of the Learning Centre hub. Over this side of behind me would be the non-fiction area, where the students would use most of these books for the inquiries learning. This is a fiction area. At the same time, you could see that some students are actually working in this area. The library is used as an alternative learning area as well as from the classroom. Books are purchased based on interests as well as suggestions from the rest of the students of the school. Well, this morning I had my library monitors who actually put up the display on Ramadan, and we focus on Ramadan and religious celebration. Like all libraries, we have different sections of the library. This area here would be focused on easy to read books, and we do have a small little section which we start for dyslexic readers. Perhaps maybe, the fonts are different and the page color is slightly different too. On the other section, we've got books that are labeled according to either they are different genres. I've got a genre charts here, as well as New Zealand authors, which I could actually introduce to students if they run out of ideas what to read. Over the other end, we've got the magazine section. Students could actually browse through. We've got a little bit of science, National Geographic books, as well as the yearbooks. We'll talk about IB and the unit of inquiry that the students will be learning. I've got special box that is being pulled out for just the Year 8 unit of inquiry. Current moment, they are actually doing where we are in place and time. And for the Year 7s, currently we're doing who we are. And these are the range of books where the students could actually have access to. Over here, I've got a box which I pull up some books based on the current inquiry. So teachers could actually introduce the inquiry to the students. Some of our books, if you notice, we've got colored dots. The colored dots are actually indicative of the unit of inquiry. For example, the orange one is how we express ourselves, and we've got green, which is the sharing the planet, and the red ones would be who we are. In this section, I'm going to introduce you to some books that is in a foreign language. For example, Maori, Chinese, which is Mandarin, as well as Korean. In addition to the books that we have in our library, I borrow some books from the local library as well as the National Library.
Hello, my name is Robbie Pro. I'm one of the Deputy Principals at Bucklands Beach Intermediate. Here to talk about how we use our technology to access the curriculum and to remove barriers for students who might not be able to bring in devices for themselves. We use a wide variety of online tools to access the PYP, especially recently around introducing Toddle. That's meant that for the majority of the time, the majority of the students and their teachers are needing to use a device. To preempt this, in the last couple of years we've heavily invested in enough Chromebooks to spread across the class, so that every student, regardless of whether or not they have their own device, can use a device. Each whānau, which is of between 4 or 5 classes, each whānau have their own area where classes don't use, so that it's more of a shared space. We call these pods, and this is where our classes can come to use more high-end technology. We've also got a few ICT areas dedicated throughout the school, the closest one to us being in the library. And that's where the students may wish to use more higher-end devices to be working on more advanced programs that are sort of beyond where their Chromebooks would be able to go. Another aspect for our teachers is that each of our teaching staff have access to a very modern Apple laptop, usually a MacBook Pro, and we keep those within 2 to 3 years of age before we cycle them through, and we'll give them a newer one. That's to make sure that our teachers always have cutting edge access, because that's the sort of life cycle where our students are upgrading their computers. They tend to wouldn't be more than 2 to 3 years old, so we like to make sure our teaching staff have a similar life cycle with their computers. Each of the whānau will also be able to connect to a printer or 2 printers throughout the school, so that they're able to regularly display their learning that they've developed on their devices, and that can turn into something more visual, and you would have seen some of those displays throughout your classroom tours. To keep our teachers on top professionally of where they're needing to be with the use of their devices as well, we provide regular professional development, which will keep them up to date with our, for example, our new program that we brought in called Toddle. That's been teacher-led, teacher-driven, and that's been embedded within the staff as a teacher-led initiative from the very beginning. We emphasise though that devices and technology are never a replacement to learning. It's a tool to help teachers teach, and I think that philosophy is held quite true. And no matter how good technology and devices are, or how widespread it is, as we've seen in lockdown, you can never replace the relationships that are being built with teachers to the children and children to teachers in the real world. And devices are just there to aid as a tool to help enhance those relationships and build on those learning relationships in the classrooms.
BBI has a purpose-built science room. It also comes with a lockable chemical storage room and a preparation room. The science room resources are kept in adjacent Lundia shelves. All of these resources are used by the site specialist, but are also available to classroom teachers. In addition, there are 2 mobile science labs. The music room is a separate space. It has 2 adjoining rooms that are used for storage and as practice rooms. These spaces are shared between the music specialist and itinerant music teachers. Adjacent to the music room is the Performing Arts Centre. This area has a lobby, adjoining rooms including change rooms, and a fold-out tiered seating area. The main floor section has a carpet covering that can be removed to reveal a dance floor, and there's a large curtain that can be moved to one side to reveal dance mirrors. The Performing Arts Centre also has a well-stocked costume room. This area is used for dance, music groups, cultural performance groups, speeches, and team assemblies. It also doubles as a good breakout space for the music specialist and for other outside groups to use. The school hall is another multi-purpose area. It's used for parent meetings, prize givings, and assemblies like this student-led assembly. The hall sound and lighting booth has a 15-channel audio input and a 48-channel light input. This allows us to support all kinds of concerts and performances, including a biannual production. Our successful gym sports program runs out of the hall. This is where the trampolines and other equipment are kept. And groups like the choir use this space during their period 5. The Learning Centre is divided into different areas for differentiated support of students that speak English as a second language.
Because you're taking letters out. Where you take the letters out from, you put the apostrophe. Okay, so that's the rule.
Well, there are two types of it.
What do you mean?
There are two types of it. One is contraction and one is ownership. There's two types of this thing.
Oh, for apostrophes?
Yes.
Good connection. Explain the ownership one to me.
See, think, and what's the next one? You might have heard it in class. It normally comes with a question. See, think, W, O, N, D, wonder.
The technology specialist classes, food technology, hard materials, and design and textiles are all adjacent rooms, with the latter two connected through a central door. All of these learning spaces are very well resourced. In addition, they have some shared digital technology, and the food technology room also has a cafe that is student run. The visual arts room is a connected learning space. It has 2 separate storage areas. The media room is used for film arts. The focus is on collaborative creativity. Each class creates one film. They must combine all of their creative and technical skills to achieve this. Next to the media room is the flexible learning space. It's used for ePro 8, maths competitions, and as a breakout space for classrooms. The BBI Sports Cloud is a flexible outdoor learning space. Even on wet days, it provides an outdoor space during break time. It's also a great area for sports teams and classroom physical education. In summer, the Sports Cloud becomes a great venue for an outdoor concert.
Get it right or don't get it at all. Be all don't curl up into a ball and don't stop, stand tall. Get your back up the wall and get back on the ball and get back involved now.
Just down from the sports cloud is the sports turf. The turf is used for sports training as well as physical education. It's also open to students during break time. In addition to the fitness circuit around the field and this playground, the school also has a fitness playground gym. The TV station broadcasts live and recorded material. It consists of a team of students who wish to extend their communication and technology skills. The content is student-driven and inspired by the PYP. Different days reflect different parts of our inquiries and different activities that are happening around the school. The TV station is directly linked to every classroom, but in 2020 we also improved our ability to live stream. BBI's radio station broadcasts live. Any student wanting to join this program gets a rotation, and they get to broadcast during morning teas and lunchtimes.